Hi, I'm here with Lady Saints head basketball coach Todd Ciochetto and sophomore Deshaunty Thomas. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are
Great.
you?
Okay, the team is headed to is going to play host Colby tomorrow night, Wednesday, at the Greenhouse at 6 o'clock. They are 10-10 overall and 8-6 in the conference play, and they have unfortunately they're sort of in kind of a slide. They've lost 3 or 4, but all the games have been pretty close. Coach, talk a little bit about tomorrow's game. You guys, this is your second meeting with Colby. You guys played them in November, and you guys pretty much trounced them pretty soundly out over there. What do you expect this time around?
Well, we're going to work on ourselves. Like you said, we're close. We have people in new positions doing some good things, still learning. Colby's a little bit better than they were last time. They got a Division I transfer eligible, so they are a little bit better. But again, we're just worried about ourselves.
Deshaunty, in that last game, you had 17 points, 11 rebounds. Can we sort of expect the same thing again this time around, or have things a little bit changed a little bit? Obviously, you have the team has lost a couple players, and it's forced you to sort of move into different positions.
Yes.
But what do you expect out of that game tomorrow?
Honestly, I just expect the same. As long as we just play our game and stay together, it should be easy. We just had minor mistakes last time, and I think we will learn from them, and we're working on them. So.
Okay. So, Coach, one of the things that you told us off campus is that Deshaunty is playing point. Talk about that.
Yeah, she's played point guard the last 2 games with Dira and Kylie out. As well as a couple others that would have played point guard for us. So Shanti, she never dribbled the ball before she came here, really. So it was a big step for her. In her first game, she had 25 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. Butler put a point guard on her, and she didn't quite understand that she had the size advantage, and she rarely went inside the three-point line. So she dribbled a little bit too much. But again, that's not necessarily her fault. She's learned the game. She made some big plays for us. I think if she was a little more seasoned point guard, I think she would have made the right play, but that's not saying she didn't, because that's what she knew. So she saw it on film. She was very frustrated yesterday on film, and I heard it from her. She was frustrated, but she's got to understand that we trust her. We're putting her in that spot because we think she's our best chance to win right now. And that's a lot of pressure on her, and she's got to be able to handle that, and I think she will. I think she's learning, and I think her teammates do trust her. The ball's in her hands 90% of the time. I want her hands about 50% of the time, so we got to move the ball a little bit better. But again, that's my job to teach her that.
So, Deshaunty, have you ever played point before?
No.
What was your reaction when Coach Conti said, I want you to play the point?
I mean, I can understand why, because I'm the only one that can push the ball up to the court really quickly. And with my size difference, it's an advantage. But at the same time, for me, never playing it's also a disadvantage. But I'm usually a quick learner, so I can get the hang of it.
So how has it been for the last 2 games that you played that? I mean, has it been, what kind of, and you talk about that first.
The first game, it was easy because I had someone that usually guards me, was guarding me. But the second game, they had put a point guard on me, and instead of being out, I should have just went in and posted up because I'm very versatile. I can go from all 3 levels. I can score 3s, 2s, inside, post work, because I'm originally a post.
Right.
And I worked out to become a wing and now a point guard, I guess.
So do you feel like is there more pressure on you?
Yes, but with me, I've always been, my parents, they've raised me to always accept the challenge. And with the bigger the challenge, the more fun it is to me.
Well, one thing, obviously, you're a sophomore, and it's your second year. I mean, like, Coach, do you sort of look upon her as such, and knowing that she could definitely handle it because of her maturity?
Yeah, actually, her, Bria, and Halima are 3 sophomores playing right now, and I was critical of them on the radio after the game because of leadership, not because of effort. They played 114 out of 120 minutes, so obviously I trust them. Shanti's learning how to be a leader. Being a leader doesn't mean that you have to score more points. Doesn't mean you have to get more rebounds. It means you have to put people in the right spots. You have to handle yourself the right way. You got to communicate. And she struggled communicating last game because she was a little bit frustrated. And that's a growing step for her, and I think she's taken it. And I think we're on the right page. Like, she gets frustrated, but we have a good relationship. So when she yells at me, I can take it, and we can get better, right?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed is that when you did signing day, one of the things that you had said is like, I'm a beast, and I can deal with that. And that to me shows like you've learned and sort of is growing and maturing at every game. Do you sort of feel that?
Yes, but it's really just what I've grown up with. So me coming from a family where we're all athletic, both of my parents playing a Big 8 school when they were in college, dad competing football and basketball, my mom playing basketball, sister going to LIU in New York City. It's just you grow up around competitiveness and you come from two beasts that are incredibly just big time, so you just got to produce.
So talk a little bit about this season, and actually, you said that basically it's a lot of it has to do with your background and growing up. But at the same time, too, has you grown? Do you think from last year to this year?
Yes, most definitely. For me, I've grown tremendously, and even coaches have even said that my game has changed. I'm the most improved player from high school, and with that, it just fuels me to even become better and grow more mentally and mature more.
You're definitely a competitor, I can sort of tell. And so, you guys have, like I said before, you guys have lost 3 of your 4, all of them, and 6 of 8. But the games have been really close. How frustrating, and you guys have actually sort of talked about that already. How frustrating is that for you, and how do you think that you guys can bring the kid out of this?
It's frustrating, but at the same time, my mom always told me, what's in the past is in the past. You got to move on. What happened in the last possession, you can't dwell on it, or it's going to affect the future possession. So.
Coach, talk about Shanti's growth over the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been huge. I don't think she thought she'd get to this point. I don't think she's where she needs to be yet, and that's why I push her so hard. I push her real hard, and I think she'll tell you that. But there's a reason for that. I'm not going to ask her to do something she can't do. She might not be able to do it right now, but I think if she just and I think she had trouble putting the possessions in the past last game, and I think that's a growth for her to say that and understand that. And I think, honestly, when she goes to Division I level next year, if she goes in the right mindset and learns how to lead, I see nothing stopping her from being a star at the Division I level. It's just she's got to keep growing every day, and it's going to get uncomfortable for her, and she's got to understand how to get through that.
But overall, and I see it sounds like you have an incredible amount of confidence in her.
I don't take her out of the game. I try not to take her out of the game. So, and it's not because I don't trust my other players. I do. We need her on the court because she can do everything. Now, I will tell you, she rarely went inside the three-point line this last game. I don't know if she thought that's what point guards do, but she ended up with 3 rebounds. My point guards, obviously we had 2 alpha personality in Kylie and De'Ara, and they kind of did everything. But I'm serious. If I can play her at point guard when they come back, get them on the wings, she pushes the ball better than they do. They're on the wing getting to the basket. As long as she still does the rest of the stuff, we become a lot better team. Coach Helmer told us, nobody wants to play us in the playoffs. We got to get healthy. But I don't think we do. I think we have enough right now. We watched a game, and we didn't play well. We did a lot of things wrong. We thought if we played decent, we win that game, and they're 24th in the country. So it's the stuff we're doing wrong, so it's really nothing anybody's doing to us.
Right, and the left team at Butler, you guys were down. You guys dug yourself a hole, and you guys came all the way back just by 1 with about a couple of minutes left. And talk to some of the other players out of it. I think that if you guys were completely healthy, you guys probably cruise that game.
Yeah, but it shouldn't take that. We're good enough, and we're down 17 with under 7 minutes left, and I asked in the locker room after the game, how many of you thought it was over? A lot of them raised their hand. I didn't. I know what we have. I might be the only one that knows what we have, but they got to understand that we're not good enough to coast and then figure it out. We come back, but if you have to come back every game with 9 players, you get tired. You might not get over that hump. You might miss a shot. You might get a bad call, which we probably will, but you got to be able to play the whole game. We were up 10-2 right away. We were up 17-8 for a long time, and we stayed on that number because we just took bad shots, and I'm telling you, our Tiana was phenomenal. So being able to play her and Tiana and Aliana together, and Kiki, we're gonna get to Kiki here too. We're gonna play a little bit bigger here and go inside to her, and they just gotta keep learning. I do think we're good enough, but she has to be our leader, and she wasn't last game. Would you admit that?
Yeah.
And she has to be our leader, not just effort-wise, but vocally and just learn how to lead. And she's never been asked to do that before, so I'm asking her to do things she's never done.
How does that feel? To be asked in that position to actually go and have the team following you?
It just feels like another challenge.
Okay. Okay, so team, I don't want to keep it hard, but teams have lost 3 or 4, but for some reason it doesn't really seem as bad as it is. Like you said, you guys seem really close, and especially since you guys are playing a lot of freshmen, playing you're down 9 players, but it just seems like you're in every single game, and if you can just turn the corner, it'll be there.
I think we're in games because we're talented. Now we got to start doing the little things right and understanding what it takes to win games. You know, that game changed when Shanti took 2 charges in a row in that fourth quarter. Before our injuries, we led the country in charges, no question about it. De'Ara took a lot, Kylie took quite a few, but that wasn't it. They were in the right spots. They pressured the ball to make other people take charges. Our freshmen are still trying to learn where to be. They're getting better. So that's part of it, you know. So they're getting better with it. They understand it's an important part. And, yeah, we're going to get De'Ara back. We're more than likely going to get Kylie back. But we have enough right now, and that's what they got to understand.
Okay. All right, guys. Colby, Lady Saints play Colby tomorrow at the Greenhouse, 6 o'clock. Come on out. Again, I always say this, they feed on your energy. You can always see that, especially in the student sections. They constantly cheer you guys on. They can sort of see that you guys get really worked up on that. So,
Yep.
Shanta, you want to say a shout out to anybody?
No, not really, but thank you.
All right. Okay, guys. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll see you guys.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks.